I've always been interested in real-world problems. When I ran into my first computer, I thought, wow. I'd seen factories and things. Those machines, they had no ability to change. They had no ability, in short, to think. That was the missing element. I had to write a couple of programs, and I could see the possibilities. You could do anything with a computer. I was convinced that computers would really change the world. If you have time for a story, I'll tell you why.
If you go back 10 years ago, technology to decode the human genome had just occurred. There was a rush of ideas in this field. What would you do with such information? Spencer Wells at National Geographic came to us and proposed the idea that what if we could go look at human population all around the planet and look for what is it that makes us similar, and how far back in time and ancestry do you have to go to reconstruct the entire human family tree?
We basically use DNA as a tool to study ancient human migrations. How recently did we leave Africa? What were the routes that we took as we moved into Asia? How many people could have made it across the Bering Land Bridge into the Americas? These big kind of anthropological questions. This whole notion that if you look beneath the surface, we're virtually identical. 99.9% identical, in fact. These genetic patterns that are retained in the DNA of indigenous groups around the world are kind of disappearing. They're kind of being thrown into a big melting pot. A good thing socially, perhaps, but it makes our work really tough. The push is to get out there and get the samples on the ground. And that's really the impetus behind the Genographic project. With just a small set of samples, a couple of thousand, which is what we had before we started the project, you can say a little bit about very broad patterns of how we populated the world. But, it's so much better if you could get hundreds of thousands of people around the world participating. It was obvious that this is going to be a very data-intensive and analytically intensive project. And we approached IBM as a partner.
We are teaching ourselves in IBM now how to actually deal with genetic data. I do imagine a future which is very much personalized in healthcare, not just how you cure a disease, but also in how you live your own life. It's not going to be a one-size-fits-all world in the future. I see a way in which the more we know about the individuals, the more tailored and customized life will be for them. I can imagine such a world, but I don't think we are there yet. I want to make such a world.